Hello everyone, this is Bradley. Today this is a preset tutorial about the points distribute preset, which you can download for free from the link in the description. I've talked about this many times in the past, but I think it's worth isolating it in its own tutorial so we can focus more on why it's so important and so commonly used. Essentially, it's just the distribute points on face node, which is often used for instancing. The main difference is that in my preset, the count is set directly, whereas the built-in node uses density. Here's why that matters. Let's say I have a grid with a certain amount of points distributed. I've made the count to show up in this modifier panel. If I scale up the grid in the built-in version, I will end up with more points from 10 to 350. This adaptive behavior can be useful. But because you don't have direct control over the exact count, you could accidentally generate billions of instances without realizing it. That can slow down your computer or even cause it to crash due to RAM limitations, especially when switching from a small test example to a complex one with much larger face areas. Here, I switch from the grid to Suzanne. It already goes from 100 to 2000, about 20 times more points. This is where the points distribute preset comes in. With it, you set the count instead of the density, so your node setup always runs within a predictable performance range with a fixed number of instances. Out of all the settings, count is the most relevant and important. This is really the core reason why I built this preset. Here, due to the technical reasons, you realize it's not 100% accurate, but it should be close enough to give you the result you want. The final count can also vary slightly depending on the seed, which you can easily change. Here, let's bump the default value up to something higher, like 1500. You can see the grid has about the target value. The Suzanne also has about the target value. More importantly, the value doesn't change much as I'm scaling up the grid. The chance it crashes my computer is very low. As we have a seed, we also have a seed per frame. This is especially useful when generating particles inside the simulation zone, since you likely want particles spawning at different locations every frame. Due to the time constraints of this tutorial, I will just skip this part. Other options like selection and density factors are there for cases where you want to create a fall-off effect. Poisson mode, or Poisson distance, works the same way as the original distributed points on face nodes, allowing you to avoid intersections. However, because of how it functions, using a fixed count in Poisson mode is basically impossible. So it's technically broken in that case. I've kept that anyway for users who might need without wanting to change the node. As we finished talking about the basic usage, let's talk a little bit about the principle. The principle behind this preset is just simple math using two distribution nodes. For example, if a node mesh with density 5 generates 50 points, and the density 10 generates 100 points, then to get 200 points, what will be the density? It will be 20. And to get 400 points, what will be the density? It will be 40. And so on and so forth. It's very straightforward common sense. So the first distribution is used to determine the relationship between density and the count. And then we calculate the correct density for the second distribution. In practice, this works very well without needing extra information like faces area. This method can also be applied to volume, as in mesh to volume and distribute points in volume process. And thus we have a mode of in volume. What I've discussed here right now is not the only possible approach. Internally, I have also used a different method with a single distribution node. However, considering both performance and accuracy, the method I've shown here is perfectly acceptable for normal cases. It's also easier and more interesting to explain While there's still room for improvement in design, it's good enough for basic functionality. That said, I want to address an approach that I personally think is problematic. Some people suggest generating a large number of points first, and then deleting the axis. This idea has two major issues. The first is, what kind of algorithm can guarantee that you always generate just enough axis points? If you blindly generate trillions of extra points, you could run into serious performance problems. In the end, you would still need some form of estimation, similar to my method to avoid that. But by that time, it seems the problem is already solved with my preset method. The second issue is shown in this example where I'm deleting points by index after distribution on grid. If your point count goes above a certain threshold, points simply won't be generated. Here you will notice in this example that the deleted points always follow an obvious pattern. Actually, only half sides of the grid has points being deleted, and the other sides are basically intact. This happens because the points are distributed in a specific order, and depending on how you delete them, you may unintentionally disrupt the intended random distribution pattern. If you try other deletion methods, accuracy can also become questionable. Of course, there are ultimately many ways to solve these problems, but from a problem-solving perspective, it's not something I would choose to do at the very beginning. So at the end, I just end up with my preset methods, and I'm satisfied with it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll probably see you next time. Bye-bye.